Again, allow me to record our discussion for today. So, for today, we're going to have a review in your PE and health. So, this is all about the drugs, its uses, and also the gateway drugs. So, before I discuss everything else, let me first share with you this educational video for what is really gateway drugs is. So please do watch and then take down notes, and then afterwards we're going to summarize this one, and then I'm going to add additional informations about the drugs, its safety uses, and also this kind of gateway drug.
What is a
Can you
gateway
hear it,
drug?
anak?
Hello, amazing viewers. Today, we're delving into a topic
Can you hear po?
Yes.
Okay, good.
that's often discussed, but not always fully understood. What is a gateway drug? Have you ever wondered what this term really means? Well, let's break it down together. Defining the gateway drug. First things first. What exactly is a gateway drug? The term gateway drug refers to a substance, typically one that's legal and easily accessible, which may lead someone to experiment with or use more serious and potentially harmful drugs. But what's important to understand is that not everyone who tries a gateway drug will inevitably progress to using harder substances. Common examples. Some common examples of gateway drugs include alcohol, tobacco, and marijuana. These substances are often encountered early in life and can be seen as a gateway to other, more potent drugs. However, it's essential to remember that the concept of a gateway drug is not a guarantee of future drug use. Many people who use gateway drugs do not go on to use harder substances. The risk factors. The likelihood of progressing to more dangerous substances depends on various factors, including individual susceptibility, environment, and personal choices. Factors like peer pressure, a history of trauma, or mental health issues can also play a significant role. The importance of education. Education and awareness are crucial in addressing the concept of gateway drugs. It's essential to provide accurate information about the potential risks and consequences associated with drug use. Empowering individuals with knowledge and healthy coping strategies can help them make informed decisions and resist peer pressure. Seeking help and support. If you or someone you know is struggling with substance abuse, it's essential to seek help and support. Recovery is possible, and there are resources available to assist you on your journey to a healthier life. Remember, you're not alone, and there's no shame in reaching out for help. Conclusion. So, there you have it, incredible viewers, a closer look at the concept of a gateway drug. It's a term used to describe substances that may lead to experimenting with more dangerous drugs, but it's not a one-size-fits-all prediction. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up, and consider subscribing to our channel for more enlightening content. Until next time.
Okay. So again, Michaela, I'm going to discuss first this kind of lesson, which is all about um the medicine. Okay, so you sent me some of the pointers to reviews in MAPE, and one of them is like the medicine as health product and gateway drug. So when we say health products, what comes into your mind?
It helps people prevent getting sick in the future.
Okay, very good. So when we say health products, anak, these are some of the items that we can use for us to be healthy, for us to prevent illness, or to help us recover. So it's like medicines, vitamins, or vaccines. So they are very helpful when used correctly and under adult guidance. So there are several kinds of drugs. It can be OTC or over the counter o kaya naman with prescription. So next one, always remember in taking drugs, we should take it with trusted adults like your parents, guardians, doctors, or the school nurses. These are the peoples that student like you as a grade 5 student should consult before taking any medicine or health product because it may be helpful, but if the dosage is too high or too
Is it
low,
is it like self-medication?
yeah, it's like self-medication. You do not do self-medication because it can harm you. Okay, so always make sure that you first consult um medical um medical people or professionals like doctors or nurses. Okay, so don't self-medicate. Next one is the safe choice. It means that you should follow the instructions, 'di ba, when you go to a certain clinic or a hospital. Um and then because you're not feeling well, so what are you going to do? You will going to have a checkup. And then your doctor will need to prescribe certain medicines for you to prevent the illnesses that you have. Okay? So always follow the instructions in the description that your doctor gave it to you. So also ask questions regarding to how to take the drugs, or how many days should you take it, or can it be like one times a day, or one time a day, or three times a day, or what? So there are also medicines as a health products. So when we say medicine, it is a product designed again to prevent, treat, or manage diseases and then symptoms. So it's very different from food or drinks because it has a specific effect on our body. So it may be harmful if we take it like a high dosage. So the purpose of the medicine is for us to help our body heal, to reduce pain or fever, to fight infections and prolong and also manage long-term conditions like asthma. So, 'di ba, if you have an asthma, you have this kind of medicine that you're going to take in your mouth. Next one is what are the common usage of our medicine? So first is for relieving symptoms. For example, paracetamol is for fever or headache. Um, or yung Lagundi syrup that is for cough. Okay, next one is for fighting infections. So there are medicines like antibiotics that are described by the doctor for bacterial infection. So when the doctor prescribe you to take that kind of antibiotics for 7 days, you should take it. Kasi if not, your body can have this kind of antibiotic resistance. So, possible that that kind of medicine will not take effect the next time that your doctor will go into prescribe it to you. Next one is managing conditions. Inhalers are for asthma. There are also allergy medicines for allergic reactions. Like for me, if I have this kind of allergy, my dermatologist told me to take to put some um betamethasone for it to like disappear. Next one is for preventing illnesses. So vaccine help the body build protection against the diseases. When you were young, there are various vaccines that your doctor um gave you. Okay po? Like for example, ano ba yung mga vaccine for
Rabies.
uh, for rabies, kapag bata pa anak, if you are
Oh,
young, ano ba, yung sa mga pneumonia, ayan, yun yung mga possible vaccinations. Okay po? I'm not familiar with that vaccinations. But anyway, if you are 1 year old, there are various vaccines that your doctor will inject you. So that is for prevention. That is for uh for us for our body to be helped in protection like against different kinds of diseases. Next one is there are different types of medicines, like for example, the prescription medicine. So what do you mean by prescription medicine?
Cannot be brought without the doctor's prescription.
Okay, very good. So when you have this kind of paper, or kaya naman you have this kind of medicine that indicates RX, it means that there is a need for doctor's prescription. So it is given only with doctor's written order. So these are stronger or need careful monitoring, like for example, the antibiotics or certain allergy medicines. So some of those needs doctor's prescription. If not, um, yung for example, the Watsons, the mercury drug will not give you any kind of medicine that has RX in it. Next one is OTC or over-the-counter medicine. So what do you mean by OTC or over-the-counter medicines?
They can be brought without a doctor's prescription.
Okay, very good. You can bought that kind of medicine even without doctor's prescriptions. Like for example, the paracetamol, the Biogesic. O kaya naman if you have like um Diatabs. You there is no need for doctor's prescription for that or for some of the cough syrups like Lagundi. Okay, so even OTC or over-the-counter drug or medicines must be used correctly and with adult guidance. So if you have this kind of medicine, anak, there is what we call as direction, instruction with how are we going to use that. Okay, so for example, I have this kind of medicine. So I use this one if I have um itchy throat. So there is what we call as directions for use. So you're going to read that and then for example, this one children adults and children 12 years old and above are going to spray this one 2 to 4 times a day directly into my throat so that it can lessen the inflammation inside my throat. So also, you cannot see any RX with this kind of medicine. It is all because that this kind of medicine is OTC or over-the-counter medicine. Basta always remember to whatever the directions inside this kind of box or the medicine, you should always take it with guidance. Next one are what we call as herbal medicine. So what are herbal medicine? When we say herbs, what comes into your mind?
Herb.
Herb. Oh, what is a herbs or herb?
Oh,
Very good. That is a plant. Okay, so technically, when we say herbal medicines, those are plants. For example, the lagundi plant, that is for the cough. The sambong is for the kidney health. The oregano is for the cough also. And there are any various kind of medicines like ano pa, like plants like the ginger o kaya naman the garlic. So those are some kinds of herbal medicines that we use. So it means to say that there are no chemicals on that kind of medicine. So what are the safety or safe use principles in taking medicine? First is for us to follow instruction. So it means to say that we only use only as directed by the doctor or on the label. So we should never guess or copy someone else's dose. Kasi it depends on your age, it depends on your weight. Some of the medicines depending on your weight, on your age, and etc. So whatever the instruction with that kind of medicine, we should always follow that. Next one is ask first. So always consult a parent or trusted adult before taking medicine. For example, you take a paracetamol, but you have a stomach ache. Mm. Paracetamol is for headache and not stomach ache. So always remember to um consult first to the adult or better yet to go to the doctor for you to have a proper prescription regarding on what you feel within your body. Next one is use our own medicine. So never share medicine. Okay, so bodies and conditions differ. So for example, I have this kind of what you call this one? Tonsillitis. So in my tonsillitis, I always take this kind of erythromycin, but this is prescribed by the doctor. So always remember that do not share the medicine because that kind of medicine may be allergic to you. And then next one is for us to check the labels. So always look at the name, the purpose, and also the instructions and warning in taking that kind of medicine. For example, there is an steroid. So there are different kinds of instructions or directions that we need to follow. Next one is for us to stop only with guidance. So don't stop early. For example, your doctor told you that you need to take the antibiotic for 7 days, and then you stop it at third day. So there are side effect if you do that. So possible that you're going to have a antibiotic resistance, or kaya naman, if you take another kind of medicine like that, so it's possible that it will not ever take effect on your body. So these are some of the misuse and abuse of medicine. Can you give me an example of misuse and abuse of medicine?
I'm gonna improper use of prescribed medicine.
Okay, very good. So those are misuse of medicine if you do the improper use of the medicine. So for example, the misuse, unintentional, this is unintentional, but it is unsafe. So for example, taking too wrong amount, using someone else's medicine, taking medicine for wrong reason, stopping too early because you feel better. So those are some of the misuse or unintentional kind of taking the medicine, but it is very unsafe. So why is it harmful? Because it can make your illness worse, it can cause side effects, or it can reduce the effectiveness of the future treatments like improper antibiotic use. Next one, can you give me an example of an abuse of medicine?
Using prescription medicine without a doctor's advice and not for medical reasons.
Okay, very good. So it is also taking medicine to feel high. So for example, the marijuana. Marijuana is a medicinal plant. But if you took it in a large amount, it can make you feel high. Okay? It can make you feel stay awake, or it can change your mood. So using more than directed or mixing medicine with alcohol or other substances, that is what we call as abuse. So this is intentional, and it is dangerous to do that. So why is it harmful? It can damage the brain, the heart, and then the liver. So it can also lead you to addiction. It can cause accidents or risky behavior and harm mental health. So next one is for us in recognizing red flags. So what are the red flags? Can you give me red flags of using medicine? For example, peer pressure. Okay, your friends offering pills or syrup for fun. For example, you have a friend and then one of them offer you marijuana, and then because of peer pressure you took marijuana. Okay, that is red flag. Next one is secret use. For example, hiding medicine um to adults. Okay, hiding for example, you're taking a medicine and then you hide it with the adults, so that is secret use. Next one is non-medical reason. So what are some of the non-medical reasons? For example, using medicine to just change your mood, your energy, or your performance. Okay? So, 'di ba, if there is, what do you call this one? There is a game, like for example in basketball. So, um, some of the players took medicine, okay, for them to feel energetic. Okay? So next one is the one that I presented to you, which is a video lesson about the gateway drugs. So when we say gateway drugs, anak, so those are substances that people might try first. So which can lead to use to a more dangerous drugs later. So the common example of it is cigarettes. What is the content of cigarette that it can make it a drug?
Some people get addicted because as the nicotine reaches the brain releases a chemical that gives a good feeling, but this feeling fades away
Okay, very good.
easily.
Because anak, the cigarette has what we call as nicotine. Okay? So that nicotine can help, can trigger our brain. So there is a cigarette and nicotine, the alcohol, and also for vaping products. So those are some of the common examples of a gateway drugs. So why they are harmful in our body? For example, in cigarettes or in vaping, it can harm our lungs, it can reduce our stamina, it can also increase risk of diseases. Okay? There are also some studies regarding taking of vaping. So when you took a vape, it is much harmful comparing to taking yung traditional cigarette that we have. Because in vaping, there are a lot of chemical in it. Okay po? Next one is alcohol. The effects, it affect our brains, decision making, coordination, and also it can make damage our liver. Next one is the addiction risk. So the
How about
substances,
in my book it says number one, it's also is is caffeine also like in gateway drugs?
mm-mm. Sorry.
Is also caffeine in gateway drugs?
Yes, caffeine is also a kind of drug. Okay, so there are different kinds anak of gateway drugs. Actually, those gateway drugs are the common kinds of drugs that we can technically use anytime anywhere. Okay, so there are various, but the most common drugs is like the cigarettes, the alcohol, the nicotine in the cigarettes, and also the caffeine. Okay, because it can cause addiction nga po. Okay, so these substances can create cravings and dependence and making it hard to stop. Next one is it is a pathway to stronger drugs. So for example, you already took the gateway drugs like the cigarettes or the alcohol, and then you wanted to take more. Okay, you wanted to explore more. So that's why you're going to take another kind of medicine, like for example, the marijuana or the um shabu. Okay, so those are some of the drugs that commonly used by those people that technically uses the gateway drug first. Okay, question so far, anak.
No.
Okay. So next one is for the impact on the young people. So in our school, anak, there are various students who took the vape. We always have this um bags bag inspection, and then we always took a vape on them. So for example, in school performance, they have a trouble focusing. It can also lower their grades and also miss classes. Okay, so those are some of the impacts of this gateway drug that some of them uses. Next one is the behavior and safety. For example, the risky decisions. So kapag if you took alcohol a lot, so it can make you feel like you never know what happened in your environment. That's why you have these risky decisions. So it can also cause accidents and then conflicts. So next
How
one
about
is mm,
family members?
okay, in a family member's anak, for example, your father always taking alcohol. So he gets addicted to the alcohol. What will happen if he won't have money to buy an alcohol? So it's possible that your appliances will be sell by your father. Okay? O kaya naman if there are various people na kilala niya and then mangungutang siya, so it can make your family have debt. Okay? So therefore, it can also affect our family, not just us. Next one is for health and growth. So there is a slower development, weaker immunity, and also a long-term health problems. For example, you're taking cigarettes like 1 pack in a day. So what will happen to your body?
You will develop lung cancer.
Okay, very good. That's right. Or what if I drink a lot of alcohol? Like for example, three three bottles of alcohol in a day. What will happen to my body?
Coma.
Coma agad. Okay. It can affect our liver. Okay? So liver is the largest internal organ that we have, and that is not replaceable. Hindi rin po siya nag nag nare-repair. So that's why possible kang magkaroon ng like liver cancer or anything that might harm your body because you're taking drugs. Okay? Even if it is just gateway drugs or any drugs that you're taking not properly. So there are also refusal skills and also safe decision making that we can say. For example, I have a friend, example lang ha, I have a friend that offers me to take marijuana. What will I do?
Do not.
Okay, very good. I will just say no, I don't take that. Okay? Next one, blame a rule. So you can also say that, oh, my parents would never allow me to take that kind of drugs. Okay, you can also do that. Or kaya naman, you can just change the topic. For example, gusto mo bang matikman yung marijuana? For example, ganon. And then you're going to change the topic like, uy, magmall na lang tayo, tara. Yung mga ganon. Okay? Also, find allies. So, yung allies natin, always make sure that we just stay with friends who are have this kind of healthy choices. So next one is also for us to take or to seek help. For example, to trusted adults like parents, teachers, guidance counselors, or the school nurses, okay, regarding that kind of drugs. So, for example, if someone offers you substances and then pressures you that if you wouldn't take that, we're not friends anymore. Okay, so take an advice of the adult. Also, next one is for us to build healthy habits. So, can you give me one of the example of a healthy habit?
Avoiding the gateway.
Okay, very good. We can avoid the gateway drugs. We can also just sleep, eat nutritious food, and also take exercise. We can also have this stress management. Kasi 'di ba technically if the people are stressed, we tend to like drink alcohol o kaya naman for us to relax, we took the cigarettes and so on. Pero hindi ako nagaganon na. Okay, next one is a positive peer groups. Always stay with positive or those people who have respect their healthy boundaries. Okay, question po regarding this topic.
No.
Okay, so let's have an assessment after 3 minutes, Anna. Let's have first a break. So I'm going to stop this now. So I'll see you later. Wait. Okay, I'll see you later, anak. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.